Hey everybody, Scott Carson here, and it is Tuesday. Excited to be here for the, I guess, 16th episode of the Note Closer Show. Back here in Orlando at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. We're prepping up, getting ready for our Note Mastermind group this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I have to tell you, it's always exciting hanging out with people that you get along with and you enjoy working with. That's one of the best caveats about real estate investing is you don't have to work in an environment that you dislike. You don't have to work with people you don't get along with. I call it a triple A area. It's an anti-a-hole area. So that's the beautiful thing about what we do on a regular basis is we get to hang with people we enjoy hanging with. We surround ourselves with like-minded individuals, and it helps the day go by so much easier. I'll give you guys an example. We're sitting here, we're vacationing with friends, Chase Thompson, Andrea Thompson, Karen Peterson, Philip Peterson, some of the great people that are coming to spend a few days here in Orlando and just have fun, chilling. We got people flying in today, Kelly Banks Fawcett, other people just coming in to hang out and enjoy ourselves. Christy Whites, Elijah Whites are here for a couple days too before they head back. But that's the beautiful thing about note investing. It's a great thing. You build bridges with people. Because in this business, you can try to do it yourself. I'm not gonna lie, I bought plenty of notes by myself and made great money and stuff like that, but it's always more rewarding when you do it with people that you really get along with or people that you really like. It's great when you help people overcome their obstacles. Robbie Woods from Note MBA Podcast came by here and hung out with us yesterday for a little bit and just visiting and cracking up at things and talking about not only business but personal and helping people overcome obstacles or just being a sounding board as a lot of time. It works both ways, not only for them to me to them, talk, hey, here's an idea, here's a solution, here's how to solve it. I'm sorry getting a late start on the Note Closer Show today, but it's been a very busy morning. A couple conference calls this morning, got a new source, residential commercial notes coming in to us today. Working on getting some JV agreements funded. Had a conference call with a buyer on one of my potential notes as well down in Bradenton, Florida. So we're going back and forth talking about that, just getting stuff taken care of. But it's nice to be around people that are like-minded. Bridge building is something also that we do when you're dealing with new sources. The source we got today is actually a guy that I used to trade with years ago. And we actually had a little bit of a conflict on some stuff. I bought some notes, working on them out. We're getting ready to buy some stuff. Stuff drug on a little bit longer, trying to get the contract in because we were coming up with a new entity. I had a guy that was working with us, wasn't doing the right things. He was doing other marketing besides the back, so it pissed them off. And that flat kind of hit on me. So I kind of just avoided the guy for a while. I'm like, okay, fine. You're going to do that. Found out he moved on to a different company. Waited a while, picked up the phone, called him. Hey, man, how's it going? Just shooting shit, talking about his business has changed. My business has changed the last few years. And it's been good to reconnect and rebuild that bridge to hopefully create win-win scenarios. He's excited. We've got 80 people coming to Florida. He wants to move some notes, residential and commercial. We're excited because we want some more fresh deals from fresh sources. And so that's the really great thing about that is building those bridges helps. Now, building bridges is also a different thing when it comes to marketing. I had a call this morning with an investor out of Pennsylvania who's struggling. She bought 4 notes about 2 years ago. It drug on longer. It was one deal, one investor in these 4 deals, and unfortunately, she stopped building. She dove headfirst into these 4 notes, but then didn't. She tried to do a lot of the workouts herself. She tried to do the servicing, the reach out. She just tried to do a lot of the stuff herself versus listening to counsel. She was taking other people's advice. Oh, you can get this done, do it yourself, versus listening to counsel like myself and other people that she was talking with. So listen, hire somebody, get it done. Don't wait 3 months for the borrower's return letter. Don't wait. And I'm listening to her this morning give excuse after excuse about it. I'm like, well, that's the reason this is drug on. This is the reason it's taking longer. You've got to be willing to, reach out to other people to get more things done. All right. And don't just settle on one deal. If you're just sitting there focused on one deal, if that's all you're focused on, The people think about distressed debt investing or other type of investments. You want to be doing multiple deals. This way, if one deal goes long, you've got the others to cover you. And unfortunately, she didn't do that. She just focused on the one deal and got so buried into this deal, emotionally attached to it, it stopped her from going out and raising more capital. She was using her own funds to do a lot of the workouts, and that was cracking up. Now she's trying to sell these assets, and she wants full retail price. I'm like, well, they need work, don't they? Yes. Well, have you marketed here? Have you marketed here? No. I'm trying to go cheap, not paying. I'm like, no offense. You got to spend some money to make some money on this stuff. You need to go here. What about here? I said, I'm glad to try to help, but I need you to get me some decent photos, not Google Map photos. I need you to have your realtor send me some stuff, and you need to incentivize your realtor to get some stuff. And sometimes we are got our heads so shoved so far up our asses, we can't see the problem. All right? We got to pull it out, shake it off, and take a look. Or sometimes we just got to get an outside appearance and listen to what other people say versus what we know. Well, what we think we know versus somebody who's been in the business for a while. So like Stephen White says, multiple deals, key, can't get stuck on one deal. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people get deal syndrome. They get stuck just on one deal. They can't get focused on finding other things. She stopped going out and looking for more deals. She stopped going out and raising capital. She didn't listen to what we told her on the front end. It's like, don't be using your own funds. Go find more money. Go raise more capital. Make more offers and stuff, and you'll be a lot happier doing it. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So excited. What else we got going on today? We got staff back home in Austin is working some great marketing from some people making offers from our fast track. We got some bids coming in from everybody in that. So we got those submitted yesterday, and then see what ends up hitting today with offers from people. We're excited about that. Ryan, Nicole, Jen are all doing a great job back home. Got Greg in the office today as well. One of the great things, too, about bridge building is you want to empower, if you've got employees, or you've got people working with you, you want to empower them to make decisions. You want to empower them to make things happen. Give them some flexibility. Give them some bonuses and stuff like that. We've got the staff's going through a thing called digital marketing certification. So they're learning all these new tricks about social media and lead generation and SEO optimization. And it's a great thing. Not only is it going to help them, it's helping me because they become better staff members. I hate saying employees. It's such a dirty word, but I consider them like the note minions. They're out marketing minions. They're getting stuff done and making things happen across the board. So it's another gorgeous day here in Orlando. Sun's out. Getting a lot of work done this morning. I think I'm getting ready to head downstairs and grab some lunch here before I see what's going on here. Get some paperwork and then maybe go have some fun this afternoon. Maybe chill out and hit the parks and stuff like that. So the Note Crew, you like that, Nicole, don't you? Exactly. Karen Ann Peterson, you're had a character breakfast, I believe, this morning here in Orlando and out having fun. But when you're building bridges, it's all about people. Okay? It's always about building that bridge because sometimes you can't hold on to both sides. You need somebody to hold their hand while they hold on the other side of the bridge to keep you straight. Because sometimes, especially when you get out in the middle and you get going, that bridge is kind of rocking like that little new bridge because you're brand new to it. It's not like the Golden Gate Bridge. It's rocking a little bit. You need somebody to help calm you down and lead you or pull your ass is probably the better way in some cases to get to the other side of the bridge, to get where you need to be. You got to have somebody that guides or mentors you and get things out. Like we got Aaron Young here who does a great job with guiding entrepreneurs. We got Jason Cisneros, I know, joined earlier. He great buddy of mine, goes in and turns business around and really pulls their ass out of a sling and gets it to where they're doing some amazing things. Those are the kind of people you want to surround yourself, people that are solutions-oriented versus problem-focused. Too many people out there, I think we can all agree to this, focus on the problem. Oh, here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. Well, if it's a problem, give me a solution. What would solve this for you? If a deal's dragging on, what would solve it? Can I get you a partial payoff? I don't have the full payoff yet. What's another solution a lot of people run into? They get so focused, I don't have deals. Well, where are you making? Are you making any money? Well, what are you focused on? Talk about your business plan. Talk about your business model. Sometimes building bridges isn't just creating things. It's coming to a solution to solve a problem more so. And then once you solve that problem, it's not such a big problem because once you fixed it or solved it before, hey, you've overcome that obstacle. And that's a lot easier mentality to have. It's also a lot more productive mentality to have with being solutions focused versus problem oriented. I'm a big thing in the office. Come in with a problem. Okay, what's the problem? How do we fix that? What's the solution to that? Can we fix it? Okay, not worth stressing about. If we can't fix it, let's try to come up with a solution to counter that. You know what I mean, everybody? You have to be solutions focused to get things done in today's market. Otherwise, you can be just like everybody else. You can fall into that cesspool of shit of everybody all being all focused on the problems and what their problem is, why they can't get that, versus coming up with, well, if you did this, you have what you want to do. Because I think a lot of people out there, they talk like they want to achieve something, but when it comes down to them actually taking action to making things happen, a lot of them are scared to do that. And I like surrounding myself with people that aren't scared to make things happen. They're not scared of the no's, because the more no's they get, they're closer to a yes. The more bids they submit, the closer they are to a yes. But if you can't submit bids or you don't submit offerings, you're never getting anything accepted if you don't take action. It's all about, do you want to just ride the bench, ride the pine, or get in the game? So if you guys are struggling today, if you're struggling to make things happen, go build a bridge, go find somebody, go talk to somebody, and have them either guide you or give you some great counsel to make things happen versus opinions. And that's what it all comes down to, guys. You want to deal with people that will give you counsel, not opinions. As Aaron's liking that over there, our buddy Greg Reed is famous for saying that: seek counsel, not opinions, because everybody's got an opinion like an asshole. Doesn't mean they're any better than anybody. And I know that a lot of us struggle with friends, families, colleagues, stuff like that. Well, we're doing something different. Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that because that's not going to succeed. Oh, that's a Ponzi scheme. Or you can't make offers. You have no real estate experience. Okay? Stephen White's posted on here. I said, I'm spinning wheels right now for a solution. I had a buyer bail in less than 24 hours before closing yesterday. Now I'm working with the seller to calm them down and come up with a solution. So if you're dealing with notes on that, Stephen, sometimes you've got to, I've had that happen before. People, the biggest thing is being transparent. If you're buying a note, if this is a note deal, you're dealing with a hedge fund manager, being honest about it. Now, it's also about doing due diligence on your funding partner. Did you get a proof of funds? Did you get a pledge email from them? Those are things that work in your favor that you could forward over to the hedge fund manager or the seller. Say, hey, I approved this guy up. This is what this guy submitted to me, and he bailed. If you give me 48 to 72 hours, I'll get this thing closed. I just need to go to plan B, plan C. Hopefully, you've done a good job and been marketing, and you've got a plan B and a plan C. But if you don't, if you haven't, then I would jump your ass, happy ass on meetup.com, send an email blast out, do a quick little deal video. Hey, here's what it was focused on. Go to LinkedIn. I mean, I would be marketing like a rock star to get those things done, to find funding. Your local real estate club, your real estate investors. You know, if you're wholesaling the deal and you're making 10 grand on it, drop it to 5 grand to incentivize people to take, hey, there's an extra 5 grand on the table, because making something is a whole lot better than making nothing. And you don't want to burn that bridge with the seller too. Maybe you need to send a earnest money deposit, something. Maybe you got to send some money in that goes hard to extend a contract. We've done that before too. You know, we had $1 million deal that was supposed to fund on a Friday that did not fund, and the seller is blown up. And I found that his big motivation was that he had to pay his vendors the 40 grand for O&Es and BPOs that Friday. So I'm like, hey, no problem. The rest of the money is going to be in the accounts on Monday. I know it's there. I've got the copy of the wire transfer forms. How about I send you 40 grand? I'll send you 40 grand right now. It's in my account. I'll send you the 40 grand, covers your vendors and everything that closed out. You can take that 40 grand and go hard, because I know everything else is legit. And he's like, oh, done. If you can send me the 40 grand right now, that'll solve a lot of issues. And we'll be fine for the rest. Because I'm just going to take, for me, I'm just going to get my 40 grand back once the wire hits. But you have to kind of understand that. You got to understand what's really the motivation. I mean, it's December. Well, it's not even December. It's November 29th. So your main seller's motivation may be to close before the end of the month, which is in 2 days. So if the seller needs money to pay nursing home care, they probably got a bill due here in the next couple days. So it's the same thing. If it's a wholesale deal, just reduce your commission down and make it happen. Drop it an extra grand or two and get everybody motivated. Everybody that responded to your email. That's another thing, too, is your marketing. If you're marketing, make sure you use something sort of like a MailChimp or Constant Contact or some sort of CRM tools that when you send an email out marketing your deal, you can see who read it, who opened it 3, 5, 7 times. And that's the people that are interested in your email. That's a hot list for you to keep, that you could send out a follow-up email just to the people that opened the email the first time around and said, hey, saw you saw this. The deal's even sweeter now than when it was before. Like if you guys are on the Known NBA podcast email, they sent an email out yesterday about a deal they're working on that they normally sell it at 18 and they're selling it at 15 now, just to their JV list. And they got 3 people that emailed them back. Chase was telling me last night that, they want, where do we wire the money right now? And that's a great thing. That's effective marketing to making things happen. All right. Just doing it. Okay. That's the whole thing on that there, Steve. Maybe that'll help you get things rock and rolling. Get an email back out. Get people that can fund fast. Obviously, you don't want somebody who's funding with a self-directed IRA because it takes 48 to 72 hours. But if that's the worst case, that's the worst case. Hopefully, your seller isn't going to have their granny or somebody booted from the nursing home immediately. And that's what you need to know. Find out what that pain is and just talk with people. That's what it comes down to more than anything else. What are the questions you guys have this morning? Deal flow situation. I do have, I've got a couple deals I'll talk about with you guys here. We got, investors got these 4 REOs, and let me pull them up here. One's in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. One's in Detroit, Michigan. One's in Pekin, Illinois. And then one's in Clairton, Pennsylvania. So it's 4 REOs. They finished the foreclosure. Market value on these altogether is around $230, $240 after about $50,000 repairs. So you figure at, she's looking roughly to get about $112,000 on this deal. That's about 50% of the after repair value. She's just trying to get her investor covered on it and wash her hands of it. But at least you get some opportunity for somebody to come into these areas. Wilkes-Barre is supposed to be in a pretty good area, value of about $60,000. The Detroit, Michigan area, value is about $25,000. So it's probably the least valuable asset. The other 2 ones in Illinois, and the other one's again in Pennsylvania. Decent rents, average rents around $800 across the board for these 4. So if you figure out that, it's not a bad ROI. Better than a certificate of disappointment, making things happen for you. So if you'd like more information on those, I'll be glad to send those out. Just don't be a joker broker. Don't be wholesaling these things. If you're an interested buyer looking for some decent properties, you put some cheap rentals in, there'll be a decent return on your portfolio. Drop me an email at scott@weclosenotes.com. We'll get the spreadsheet out to you guys. All right. Any other questions? Anybody else dealing with any troubles or issues this morning? Building a bridge. Another way of looking at building a bridge is we all start things and never finish them. If you've ever heard me speak before, you've heard me talk about the concept of the unfinished bridge. Where we start something, like we start our Facebook profile and we never finish it. We start a LinkedIn profile, we set it up, username, password, but we never finish the profile. So I think we did a brainstorming session. There's somewhere around 75 to 100 different bridges that people build in marketing that they never finish. And not only is it relationships like I talked about earlier, going back and rebuilding bridges, like I said earlier on, but marketing, to be effective in marketing, you've got to finish your bridges. Okay, you can't get halfway across and then go to do something else. Because that halfway, now, if you never went all the way across, you just wasted that whole 30, 45 hour and a half, and you can't get it back. And so you have to maximize your time. If your time is worth $200, $300, $400 an hour, get the shit done so you can put that stuff to work so it's starting to make you money versus you quitting it, you wasted an hour, okay, that's $200 gone. Go back and start something again for another hour, don't finish that. That's why the whole shiny object syndrome kills people. That's why people that struggle with focus never are successful. Too busy doing a million things and never finished any of them, okay? Let's see here. Hassan asked a question. I'm a new wholesaler in Dallas. What do you recommend to do to get seller leads? You got a network, Hassan. You are in one of the most competitive markets in Texas. Dallas is very competitive. So if you're looking for wholesale leads for sellers, you're going to have to do a lot of direct marketing. You have to do a lot of door knocking. You have to do a lot of driving around. Um, you're going to have to really get out and market it. Things aren't going to come to you. So, like, I've got people up there that I know that are dropping $10,000 and $15,000 a month in postcards and direct mail and Facebook leads. So you, Asan, are going to need to either network like a madman at different investment clubs, different networking clubs. You're driving for dollars, like Stephen White recommended. Driving for dollars in ugly markets. Here's a tip for you. Go to the four counties there in the Dallas-Fort Worth market. The Code Enforcement Office. Okay? Yeah, I'm sorry. 150 yellow letters a week aren't really worth it, because yellow letters, you get probably a 1% response. So that means you're only going to see anywhere from 1 to 4% response rate. Means you're going to get maybe 1 to 6 people responding to your yellow letters. I think yellow letters are a freaking waste of time. Your time is better spent doing that. And if you're only getting 4 to 6 phone calls off those 150, you might get one deal out of it, which is okay, but there's better ways to do things. Okay? So do this. If you guys are wholesalers out there, go to your local Code Enforcement Office. And oftentimes, the Code Enforcement Office will give you a list of problem properties. Those are great properties to wholesale, to take down, to reach out to the homeowners on those. Hey, you have a problem. Let me help you. Are you interested? Are you out of state? Those are the properties that are going to have tall grass. They're going to have people that have broken windows. Those are going to be the better leads that you're looking for to get to your fix and flippers and things like that. So go to your Code Enforcement Office there in Collin, Tarrant, Dallas County. Can't think of the other. But the basically 4 counties that are surrounding DFW. and go speak to them. Sometimes they'll often give you the list of those properties that are in problem areas. And those become your better sources. Then I would go directly to after the borrowers or the owners of those properties to see if you can't negotiate them, give you an option on the property or selling the property at a decent price that makes sense for you. But that's what I would do. I would also spend more time maybe on the probates. This sounds kind of depressing, but this always worked really well. Is every day I would jump in the obituaries, and on Sunday as well. And people that passed on, I would jump on the county appraisal districts and see if they own any real estate. And I would then send letters out. Then I would maybe send yellow letters out to those people. And often I'd have their son, daughter, spouse, heirs, or whatever like that. Thank you, Grayson County. That's it. That's the last one, Karen. Thank you. Contact me in a month or week. Say, hey, this property's not for sale. How did you know? Did you know my father? Like, no. Well, he passed on. Like, I did not know that. Sorry, my apology. A little bit of a white lie there, but see if you guys had any property for sale that you're looking to get rid of now if he's passed on. We can offer cash and close, and that's often what you need in probate deals. So that's another opportunity there for you. There, Code Enforcement, or spend time more on the deceased list, because those lists really aren't being hit too heavy. A lot of people, if you're brand new, you're only sending out 150 letters a week, you're not going to outspend somebody budget-wise when they're dropping 4,000, 5,000 postcards. Okay? I'd also spend some time, if I were you guys, also jumping on Facebook, creating, doing some videos about what you're doing and marketing on Facebook, because for $50 to $100, you can get some decent hits off some of the things you do. Okay? Yeah, Stephen White, yes, yields 2 to 3 deals a month in North Carolina, just with the yellow letters. But you waste so much time. What are those 2 to 3 deals a month? What do those 2 deals a month yield to you? And then you look at how many hours you put into that and what you're going at. And how much time you spent on those 2 to 3 deals. It's probably not an effective use of marketing. Okay? Rebo Gateway. I don't know what that is, Asan, so I don't know. All right? Sorry. Don't know what that is. I don't deal with wholesale deals. I've avoided that. I just focus on the non-performing. I'd rather get a listing sent to me directly of 100, 200, 300 deals that I can cherry pick versus having to fight and only try to get one investor who's got one property. You'd rather get MAS deals, muy MAS deals versus muy pequeño deals. So, any other questions, comments, concerns before we kind of wrap it up for Tuesday here, November 29th on the Note Closure Show? Hopefully this has been helpful, guys. If you enjoy this, please feel free to ask questions. If you're catching this after the live, feel free to leave questions, comments before and after. We'll be glad to try to address those on the next following day as well. So, All right, guys, have a great week for those of you guys. Hopefully, Karen will see you in a little bit out here in the magical world of Disney. All right, guys. Peace. See you guys later. Aaron Young, if you still want, look forward to seeing you this weekend. And we'll see you guys all at the top. Bye, everybody.